Any trip to Newcastle is always tough, and so it proved again today.
Yeah, we're getting involved in dogfights, aren't we? I mean, fair play. I think we've got to have an expectation that teams are going to perform tough against us, which they certainly are. And we're in a situation at the moment where I think we're tough, and the guys are working exceptionally hard. And I'm really pleased with the guys' physical and emotional effort week in, week out. That is something that we're getting bang on. But I've just said to the lads, we do need to be able to add a little bit of quality and a little bit of confidence to some of what we're doing, because we're actually ending up getting dogfights because we're not seeing opportunities off. I mean, it wouldn't be a genius to say that some of the ball went on the floor today is not really acceptable for an absolute frontline quality team. Some of it's just simple catch and pass, droppy stuff. But I think that just shows where we are. I think we're in a desperate place to win, and it's just taken away that little bit of relaxation you need around really performing quality play. And so we're just got to keep pushing that balance there. And I just said to the lads, we need a players to take charge of it and a bit of leadership to drive it through. But there's not one thing I can say criticising them for the effort they put in this weekend. 7-hour bus trip up here, getting on the move early start, snow and it's wet and it's cold, and we've come through and we've battled through another important 4-point win. And these are the games that when you have a big season, we won't really look back on them as vintage games. This game and the Worcester game, but it's 8 incredibly valuable points. I mean, look where we'd be without them. And look where we are because we've earned them. And I think that sometimes is what's the most important thing to remember.
You said only a few weeks ago you wanted to see a reaction for your side. Just seeing that, and like you say, you just want to see a bit of quality now.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of quality we need to add, and I've just said, some of that's got to have to come from us as coaches about how we challenge them in training and the things we want in training, the standards to be set there. And some of it's got to come from the players, and particularly that leadership group, to, like I say, to kind of give us the confidence on the field to keep moving. I think what happens is when we get a little bit dropsy or we get a little bit edgy, we kind of get a bit quiet and we get a bit disappointed with ourselves. And it's interesting just walking off talking to Ian Whitton. He said, it's hard when you make a mistake and you shouldn't make, not to have a little bit of a disappointment to it. And that's the truth. And then that inhibits you the next time you do something. And we're just in that a little bit of it. I mean, a little bit of a cycle of just battling through games. But all our best seasons have been built on battling through certain games. I reminded the lads last week that we've won premierships based on some pretty awful games over the course of the season, and we had to remember that. And the important thing is that we can build and we can impress and we can move on, because I think that's in us. Our levels of actual physical ability are still very, very good. We've just got to keep adding the direction and the accuracy, and those things will come over time.
You've been wanting to see Alex Cuthbert back on a rugby pitch. You saw him today, and what a way to come back.
I've got to say, massively pleased for Alex. I mean, to put in what was obviously an absolute crucial try, and it took some scoring still too, and I think that really shows the qualities that he's still got and the qualities he brought into the club for. And I'm just hoping and praying now that's the end of his injury issues for this season, and we get to see him on a regular basis, because when he plays like that, you can see he's going to be a real handful, especially if we can get him in a little bit more space.
And you talked about Richard Capstick in the week taking his opportunities. Again, he's stood up and been counted today.
Yeah, he's starting to become one of those young guys where I say, these young guys, they've got to not just come in and be pleased they've got a bit of game time. They've got to come in and they've got to help us win games of rugby. And Cappas is doing that now. He's starting to add to our performance. It's not just all right for him to be here.